Namaskar. Hello friends. Mind is a software whose program can be changed through contemplation. Mind has no form nor any fixed identity. It is just a software whose program can be changed. Normally, our mind is programmed to enable maximum utilization of our worldly life, to experience what seems desirable and avoid what is undesirable. Accordingly, the mind keeps pushing our brain and body into appropriate action all the time. Spiritual liberation, that is mukti or moksha, on the other hand, is the process by which the worldly orientation of our mind is turned through 180 degrees away from the physical towards the spiritual. It is nothing but a fundamental change in the program of the mind software. The change in the mind program can only come about through sustained contemplation, through questioning every now and then what we otherwise tend to go through unconsciously or mechanically. This constant observation of the mind and making it answer questions can help the mind see the futility of many things in our mechanical life, lived in an unawareness of our real identity and purpose of coming into this world, and thus help transform the mind. A self-realized guru can help by planting a seed of such contemplation. A sustained interest on the part of the seeker in such a contemplation through an appropriate spiritual practice, that is sadhana, can eventually take the seeker to liberation. Shape your thinking. Focus on your own karma and not that of others. I was once visiting the ashram of our guru. One of the resident disciples showed me around, and I was particularly impressed by the nice garden in the ashram premises. I complimented the disciple and got into the following conversation with him. I said, "It's a nice garden that you people have created and maintained. So our Guruji must be getting plenty of nice fresh flowers every day for his puja." The disciple said, "That is the sad part. We and even our Guruji work in the garden every day, nurturing the plants. But most of the flowers are plucked away by people in the neighborhood, leaving hardly any flowers for us." I said, "Oh, is that so? Guruji must also be aware of it. How is it that he hasn't taken any action to prevent this theft of flowers?" The disciple said, "We dare not ask Guruji. Maybe you can try asking him." So when I met with Guruji later, I broached this topic. I said, "Guruji, I am told that there is a lot of theft of flowers from the ashram garden. I am sure there must be some reason why you are not taking any action to prevent this theft." Guruji said, "Indeed, there is a spiritual reason. Look, how does it matter whether we in the ashram pluck those flowers and offer them to God, or some other people from outside do it? After all, our God and their God are not separate." I said, "I understand that, Guruji, but does it not hurt the disciples and even you that you put in so much hard work in maintaining the garden, and some others deprive you of the fruit of your labor?" Guruji said, "That is a very worldly view of the matter, which is based on the distinction between us and them. A truly spiritual view enables me to look at our labor as our karma, and we must do it without expecting any fruit thereof or flower therefrom, if you may." I said, "I understand that part too, Guruji. It is the famous philosophy propounded by Sri Krishna in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, But Guruji, don't you feel something lacking in your puja, with hardly any flowers left in the garden by the neighbors? Guruji said, no, absolutely not. There again, there is another very valuable spiritual principle that I will share with you for your benefit. A puja is a means of getting into God consciousness. It is the time when one should forget the physical world and be engrossed completely in the spiritual. The physical means used in the puja, like flowers, incense, lamp, or the naivedyam, that is food offered to the deity, by themselves are not important. They are at best aids in getting our mind into the puja. That is why Sri Krishna says in Srimad Bhagavad Gita that anything offered with bhakti, that is devotion, with sincerity, be it a flower, a leaf, or even just plain water, which is easily available, pleases him. I said, Guruji, I understand this matter as far as one party involved in it is concerned. But what about the other party, namely the people from the neighborhood? Aren't they indulging in an act of theft? If we don't prevent them from it, aren't we guilty of indirectly encouraging their bad karma? Guruji said, look, each one has to think about one's own karma only and not that of others. The reason is when we get into judging someone else's karma, we are on a very slippery ground. Our judgment will most likely be subjective. So better leave it to the Creator. Install a lightning arrestor of spiritual attitude. Most of us know from our school science that a lightning arrestor is installed to protect a relatively taller building from lightning strikes. We can still see such buildings in smaller towns. The lightning arrestor is a long rod made of a good conductor of electricity, like copper, with its one end being buried under the earth and the other one jutting out of the top of the house. The lightning arrestor provides a path of least resistance for the lightning if and when it strikes the house. So the lightning safely passes through the arrestor down into the earth without damaging the house. There is a parallel to this concept in the spiritual realm. We keep receiving one or more of the 5 sensory inputs from the external world through our eyes, ears, nose, tongue and skin every waking moment. These sensory inputs cause transformations of our mind, which are called as vikaras. Essentially, they are the agitations of mind in the form of our 6 enemies, namely desire, anger, greed, attachment, pride, and jealousy. Thus, our mind can be seen as a house and the sensory inputs from the external world as frequent lightning strikes. However, we can install a lightning arrestor in our mind in the form of spiritual attitude, whose bedrock consists of vairagya bhav, that is asceticism or detachment, lack of ego, non-doership, and non-duality. When I have a spiritual attitude, I am convinced that everything happens for some reason in accordance with the big picture for the divine. So nothing can disturb the equanimity of my mind. I have no likes or dislikes, and hence I am able to take life as it comes. I do not see any duality between myself and the rest of the world. Thus, the spiritual attitude tackles the external stimulus and makes it pass harmlessly without affecting the mind at all. For example, when I smell a spicy hot dosa, an Indian pancake, at the roadside stall, I am able to pause and tell myself that I don't quite need to go for it if I am not really hungry. The Vairagya Bhav in me has killed all such desires. When my car is hit by another vehicle from behind, I do not get angry because I do not see any duality between the driver of that other vehicle and myself. It is like my eye not getting angry when I accidentally put my finger in my eye because eye and finger are both parts of the same body. I am I am no more greedy, wanting to earn more and more money because Vairagya Bhav is firmly established in me. I do not feel sad when my daughter gets married and leaves for her husband's home because I have no feelings of me and mine. If I get praised for some good work done by me in my office, I do not feel any sense of pride because I know I am not the doer and it is the divine that has acted through me. I do not feel jealous if I miss a promotion and a colleague of mine gets it because I have faith in the divine scheme of things and I am disinterested in worldly things. Most of us are born without a spiritual attitude. Later, some of us realize that the external stimuli from the world are like lightning, damaging our peace of mind. Then we start exploring the various ways and means of protecting our mind against these lightning strikes. This effort, that is the spiritual sadhana, when appropriately guided by a true guru, appearing before us at the right time, develops into a lightning arrestor for our mind. I will stop here today. I'll see you the next time. Until then, take care. Bye.